So these are the materials you'll need. These top materials are materials that you must have. These top materials are for the Hoe Activation thing. I don't really know what you would call it. But you'll need a sticky piston, a redstone repeater, you'll need redstone, you'll need 2 redstone torches, and obviously your hoe. Now redstone can vary depending on how far you need to connect up whatever you're activating. So depending on what you're activating, whether that be a redstone door, a dispenser, a dropper, or whatever it may be, you will need different things. If you're activating something like a dispenser or a dropper, you'll probably just need these main materials. If you're activating a door, you'll want to decide on adding one of these, either a T flip-flop or a pulse extender. A T flip-flop basically holds a pulse like a lever instead of like a button or a pressure plate where the pulse dies out after a bit. A pulse extender elongates the pulse, so it makes the pulse last longer. So depending on how you have your door, you'll want to decide on whether you want to stay open enough for you to get through and then close, or you'll want a T flip-flop, so then you just walk in and then once you activate something else, it then closes. Once you activate it again, it then opens again. So for this door, I have a T flip-flop. As you see, I have pressure plates. As soon as I walk over these pressure plates, it reopens. But then it does not close until someone steps on those pressure plates again or reactivates the whole door. Also, if you want a tutorial on this door, I won't be doing it in this video, but there will be a timestamp up above and it will be in the description. So first, obviously, find out where you want your hoe activation or thingy mabobber. You're going to go where you want to hoe the ground to make it activate. Let's say I want it right here. You're then going to dig in 2 blocks, place a piston, and then replace that block right there. So then every single time that you farm the grass or dirt, this piston will then trigger off, covering up this farmland, so then it's no longer farmland and it switches back to grass or dirt. So right below where you have your farmland, you're going to go under 1 block underneath. You're going to break that block and place a torch facing up. Make sure it's on the block closest to the sticky piston. Then you see it's on the block closest to the sticky piston. So on the block that this torch is on, we're going to place a repeater facing towards the sticky piston. Then redstone dust. Then we're going to break the block right behind the sticky piston, leaving this block here, replace it with a torch. So you see, it should trigger it off and make the farmland go away. So how it works is farmland is technically not a full block. So since it's a full block right now, what will happen is activate this repeater and turn off this torch, which doesn't activate the piston, as you can see. But as soon as this is no longer a solid block, as in when you farm it, it'll then flick off, turning this torch on, powering this piston out, and then the power will come back since it's now a full block again, and this piston will retract. So you can pretty much just cover it up. So I did some quick terraforming. Now I'm going to have a Jeb door right here. At this point, you should have decided on whether you want a pulse extender or a T flip-flop. For this, I'm going to use a pulse extender, but I will show you how you can use a T flip-flop. So whether you're doing a pulse extender or a T flip-flop, you'll have to have the connection up to this redstone torch that's behind the piston. So however you're doing that, you're just going to hook up some redstone like so. Super simple. To clearing out some more room, you're going to make yourself whatever you're making, the pulse extender or T flip-flop. So boom, there we have it. I have my pulse extender right here. So as you should be able to see with this redstone dust, if we quickly activate this, it should last longer than a normal pulse would. As you can see, it already deactivated, but the pulse extender is making it last a lot longer. So what we're going to do is we have this torch, redstone block, and then going out towards this block, going the same direction towards that way, we're going to place a repeater. You're going to have this repeater going into a block. So on top of this block, we're going to add a redstone torch so then the power gets inverted again. This is like the 3rd inverted power. I know. But now it's just as simple as hooking everything up to this redstone torch. Keep in mind that you may be connecting up your door differently depending on your door, because most likely your door is going to be different than mine. That means we got a staircase from redstone going down all the way over to this piston. Ooh, some water. That's not good. Anyways, hook it up all the way down to this bottom piston since this is something that needs to be powered like so. Then we need to staircase it up to the top part of the door. There we go, as you see it close. So we need to quickly break out. But now if we do our designated spot with the hoe, you see it should open. We should have enough time to walk through before it closes again. Like so. So let's say that you want to get out, since this is technically always in the closed state until you activate it with the Hoe Activator or with something else from the inside. So let's say you want to get out from the inside. You want to power this block right here with all the pulse extender stuff, right? So the one right next to this block right here, and the one with the repeater, this block right here. You're going to want to power this somehow. Your best bet is probably to just place a button. Boom, you got it. Super simple. Just place a button right there and you can always activate that. Let's say you don't like this. You just need some way to power directly into this block. So just know that you have to power through this block to that redstone dust. So if you're going to hook up this somewhere else, you'll want to have a repeater going into this block. But I think the button is just the simplest and then you can just walk out. Ah, it's super dark in here. I want to get out. Perfect. Perfect. So over here, I'm quickly going to make another door so I can show you guys how to use the T flip-flop. Piston, replace block, farmland, go down below, redstone torch, repeater, redstone torch. Boom, we have this all set. So the door is all set up. Now we need to make the T flip-flop and connect it to the door. Right here, we have the redstone torch next to the piston. Out 1 redstone dust. Then obviously you can make this wherever you have some free space because you can just add redstone and it's really that simple. Since I don't need to make it anywhere else, I'm just going to make it straight right here. Dropper up. Dropper out, dropper in. Make sure that this one is going up, make sure this one is going out, and this one is going into this one. Because if they aren't correct, it will not work. And also, you should make sure they're droppers, because if they're dispensers, it won't work. Anyways, to complete this, hopper facing down. So this should be facing into the hopper, and this hopper should be facing down into this dropper. Now, comparator facing out from this one, and then a repeater. Now the repeater goes in the block with redstone dust on the top. Now for me, I need to power both the top and the bottom separately. So most doors have the main power where you power the supply of redstone on the bottom. So just know they'll probably have to just link it up to the bottom. But for me, I have to also do the top. So we have to have this going to block redstone dust on top and bottom. But you can just have it on the bottom if you just have to go to bottom. Or if it's just on the top, you can have it from the top. We have this going down and I need this going into this piston. Then I need staircase this one up to go into the redstone over here. Make sure too that if you ever run out of redstone pulse, just simply add a repeater to extend the pulse. If you have something like this, also make sure you don't cut off the redstone like that because that won't be good. Last but not least, get your item, place it into whatever dropper you want. Doesn't really matter. I'm placing it in the top one and it should close like so. Now it won't open again until I activate it. I'm just going to quickly place a button on the side to activate it. But it should also close. Do that. Boom, closes. Awesome. Should open. Boom, awesome. Let's say you want to open it and close it from the inside. As you can see, I just placed a button on this dropper. That's pretty much all you need to do. You just need to add a connection to this bottom dropper. Now you can just do a button like I did, or some people like don't want to do that and they want to add like a longer connection to it. Like whether that be from a pressure plate or just going straight into this. But whatever you're going to need to do, you're going to have a redstone power going into this one. Kind of like this. There's lots of gravel here. It's very annoying. But if I simply just loop this and I want to add a pressure plate, I can do that. Grab myself a pressure plate, place it down. Now I would like to hook this up, but keep in mind if you have redstone stuff everywhere, it's going to be harder to connect it up because you don't want it touching and messing things up. Make sure if you have it like this, you're going to have to kind of change up the redstone pattern of where it's going so then you can actually connect it up and such. Drop that down, add this, connect it up. There we go. So now this pressure plate, to close it, you can close it. Hold on. Oh, yep, it closed it. It should also open it. Simple. Once again, you do not have to have a pressure plate. You can just replace it with a button, and it works the exact same. Have the button on the wall. You just need the redstone to go over there. And once again, if you run out of redstone pulse, you will need to add a repeater wherever the redstone dust dies. But that is pretty much it for today's tutorial. If you did enjoy, make sure to smash like, subscribe, new as always with post noties, and that's pretty much all I got to say. See you in the next one. Goodbye.